Good morning, YouTube. This is WakMed19, and we're here talking about ghost perks. Welcome to Ghosts again, and there are 42 perks in this game. The perk system in Call of Duty Ghosts has got to be one of the most balanced you'll ever see, but we'll get there in a minute. There are 42 perks in this game. Some have been split from what we used to know. Some of them have been divided. Some of them, the pro has been detached from the perk and set over to the side where you have to choose them both or choose neither of them. So, since you can purchase the perks before it's actually time for you to unlock them, it makes a very level playing field. It means that the playing field is you can compete. It means you can compete even if you're not up to the level of everyone else in the lobby. I really don't care what level people are, other than to know that they've spent that kind of time in the game and they may have that kind of map knowledge or experience being able to play Call of Duty. So, you know, being a level 50 or 60 doesn't have too much advantage over the guy who's a level 19 or 20, especially if the guy who's 19 or 20 has been completing operations and getting squad points so that they can get better player unlocks. I will move here in a minute. I'm assigned to the backside of this hill. Not that I'm told what to do, but this is my little portion to help out the team. So that's why I'm hanging tight right here on the backside of this hill. Good spot, by the way, especially with 3-round burst. So there's really great balance to the perks. They took the Black Ops 2 pick 10 system, and I'm sure it didn't happen exactly like this, but there's an element of truth to it. They took the pick 10 system from Black Ops 2 and made it a pick variable. You get 12 perk points. If you go knife only, you get 12 perk points, and so I guess that's a pick 12, except that everything doesn't cost 1 point. A lot of things, in fact, the better perks cost 2 points. Most of those better perks, and we'll talk about what those exactly are here towards the end of the video. The worst part about this being a pick 12 or a variable pick system means the worst part of it is that when you bring the menu up, it doesn't display and tell you how many points you have left to spend. So I'm always worried that I'm going to knock off a perk, or, you know, I like to set my perks up first and then my gun, see what I got left. Well, it doesn't tell me that. But what it does tell me, or what I do know, is I've got 12, and I do know that certain things count and certain things don't count. What I know is that anything in the primary box is going to count. The guns, the assault rifles, the submachine guns, none of them count different points. But also the riot shield doesn't count different points. Different gun classes, like I was saying, they don't count different points. So if there's anything in that primary bar, that's going to be one perk point that I can't spend. The same thing with the secondary, and you have to judge for yourself as to whether you think a secondary is important enough to run without losing that perk point. Do you want to give up a perk point to have a pistol? As relatively weak as they are in this game, do you really want to give that up? And I mean, the answer for me most of the time is no, but there are some times when it may be applicable, and right now the pistols are not overpowered, so there's no real reason to make yourself use a secondary if you don't want to, especially since there's plenty of guns laying around on the ground. In picking, your attachments don't count, so your guns do. Your pistols, your launchers, your everything, your primary. I get amazed by the rockets. Sorry, get mesmerized. The guns count. The primary, the secondary. Your lethal grenades count. Your tactical grenades count. Your streaks do not. The paint doesn't count. The reticle you choose does not count. But your tactical and lethal do, and they're worth 1 point. And this is actually pretty expensive in my opinion, especially since the grenades are relatively weak as compared to previous Call of Duties, and they cost a point apiece. And this is, I mean, you could buy a whole gun with that. Why am I worried about buying one grenade? And Scavenger doesn't refill them, so you can't spam them. There's even less reason just to run tactical and lethal grenades, even though there are specific perks to making these grenades more plentiful, or to giving you an additional one. So then you're actually going to cause, one grenade is worth 1 point. 2 grenades would be worth 3 points. Really? That's a lot. If you go knife only, you get 12 perk points, and then if you add specialist on top of that, you can have pretty much half the perks in the game. I didn't do the direct math because it didn't really matter who's running specialist with knife only. That, unless you're just trying to pick up the first gun that you get to on the ground, doesn't seem to be the wisest way to do that, because most of the time that's a chem strike setup anyway. Maybe that's the best chem strike setup is go knife only and then pick up a gun or two and hope to get to your specialist package. So the best perks in the game: I run ready up on pretty much everything. Quick draw, ICU, dead silence, and marathon. I'm not reading out a list of what you should run. I'm just saying these are really good perks. Give them a try. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below if Google Plus hasn't messed with you. Thanks. Have a great day.